It's like the illest posse cut right here, man. Sean Watts on the track. Zeus, Don One, Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that'll be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't get treated like Virgil. Cause when I write raps, it's beyond your price tag. He's a waste of man.
And welcome back, everybody, to Around Da Bloxxx with Mike Knoxxx. I am your host, Mike Knoxxx, and indeed, I spell my name with 3 X's because like Bianca Belair, oh, and God we trust, congratulations to her winning that main event last night. I am hardcore. And as always, people, I am joined by friends of mine because who are we in this game if we don't have friends to talk to? It's professional wrestling. You can't go by yourself. This ain't like going to the movies. I mean, you can, but you look kind of weird by yourself. So I brought some friends along with me today, and as always, joining me down to the bottom, my kicks are my fix. Nephew Corey from the Wrestling Marks of Excellence. Belt Kings Extraordinaire's on. What's going on, Nephew Corey?
What an introduction. I'm humbled. Thank you,
you know who you are. You know who you are. You're so humble all the time. It's okay. Just one day. Everybody ever watch Friday Night Lights? He says, Booby Miles like, I'm going to get Birchill to smile. Yo, look, I'm in a smile. One of these days, I'm going to get Corey to give me just one narcissistic look or something from this guy. He is the most humble person I've ever met in my life on a male spectrum of that, because my mother's like that, my wife. But also, welcome to the program. From the chair shot, hashtag use your head. The one, the Velvet Dream, no, the Velvet Voice on, Mr. Chris Platt with 2 T's. What's going on, Chris?
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. And I do have to say that Christopher Platt is brought to you this morning by White Claw. When you want a beer, but you're trying to lose your gut, White Claw.
Cut the check. Well, hey, guys, let's get into this. What a night one of WrestleMania. I'm just going to start at the beginning, guys. The rain delay. And it happens. The first ever rain delay in WrestleMania history. I was not there, but I was privileged to. We all know somebody that's down there and reporting from down there. It wasn't a somber thing. It was actually an understandable thing. But you cannot blame the weather for what goes on in the stadium. And I got to give the WWE kudos for those guys going back there and just cutting random on-the-spot promos for what it was. And I actually was entertained by it in the process. And then to get into the night, to start with the gods on the stage, to have McMahon out there thank the fans for being there because they couldn't be there without the fans in the first place. So I thought it was very, very telling and a very good start to the night. The night in itself, I also agree, was very good. I used the word solid because it was just a solid show. And then we're going to talk about these matches. We're going to talk about the historical things that happened on night one of WrestleMania. To me, one of the biggest things that happened on night one that were not being talked about is that Bobby Lashley retained his title. I'm telling my wife this morning, almost as big as anything last night I did not expect to happen was this. I just didn't. It was written on the wall that he would not be the champion. It was written on the wall of all the different things that would happen over, the time of fans not being there and Drew McIntyre coming back, the whole thing about where he got the sword came from, even the promo backstage. I don't care if it takes me all night. I'm going to kick your ass and all that kind of stuff. It blew my mind to see Bobby Lashley win, and not just see him win. We're talking about a finishing move, right? The hurt lock, the move, right? The full Nelson, the master lock, however you want to put in that name. It has never been used on a stage like this and won the title. That I can remember anyway. Every time someone has this kind of move in a big match, it gets broken. And that's how they lose the match. And the fact that it stayed on this match for me, I thought this was match of the night. And I'm going to stay with that. I get if you want to put the main event better, that's fine. 1-1A, I don't care. But this match to me, was match of the night, and the outcome I couldn't have been more proud of. I was excited to see this match. It was a hard-hitting match, and the pyro was incredible. Also, nephew Corey, your thoughts on Lashley and Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Mike. I really thought this was the company going to be like, okay, we got to throw Drew a bone, like the thank you for pretty much being champion through like a crappy year. I thought for sure they were going to just redo everything they were going to do last year and just give him the championship back. With that said, though, smart move keeping it on Lashley. I like that they went ahead, and I like you mentioned, I like that they did it with the Hurt Lock. I mean, yeah, you had some things with MVP yelling, but that's nothing that realistically logic. Drew should have just kept going with the move from a kayfabe standpoint. He should have just did it if he was going to do it. I mean, a scream is a scream. That could have been a fan. That could have been anybody. So the fact that they pretty much, to me, it was a clean win, honestly.
Yeah.
And for him to keep the Hurt Lock on and have Drew pass out, it doesn't take anything away from Drew, but man, it really, really, really puts Lashley up there. So I'm okay with it. I enjoyed it.
I thought what you just said is eloquent because it takes nothing from it because he didn't tap. I think that's always the thing now with the submission move is if you tap, it's different. If you pass out, it just hurts so bad. You know what I'm saying? Chris, your thoughts on this match of the night, in my opinion?
I agree with everything you gentlemen have said. And I also thought, okay, they're like you said, they're throwing Drew a bone. He gets to get his pop in front of the crowd. However, I did throw this one caveat out on Pod is War this past week, which you can listen to every Thursdays at 8:00 on chairshot.com. I said this. I said that Bobby Lashley is Vince's wet dream of a black heavyweight champion. I mean, The Rock is Rock. He was undeniable. They caught lightning in a bottle with Kofi Mania. But when Bobby walks in the room, I bet Vince's dick gets hard. That's how much he loves this guy. So I threw that out there saying I wouldn't be so surprised if they did it. I still thought Drew would win, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that Bobby did win. And I mean, Mike, you and I, we've said it on these airwaves, how Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, they're literally the same person. And now Bobby has found his Paul Heyman in MVP. So shout out to Vince for doing the right thing. And let's rock with this. I'm here for the Lashley era. I'm here. I'm all in. Let's do it.
I like it, and everything you said on the latter part, I agree with. But the Vince loving him so much, I don't know because what took so long? If he's always giving him wood, what took so long?
I think Vince. I agree with Chris, Mike.
Oh, the whole
Vince
time he's loved him.
Yeah,
I mean, he did cut his hair. He was with Mega, right? I do think he's loved in the company. I do believe that.
Yeah.
I just, some things what took so long, and then it's always about what's that saying? Pops and circumstances. You know what I mean? He's in the right place at the right time. There is no lesser. He paid his dues, whatever the case may be. I'm with you. I'm here for it as well. Yeah. Thank everybody tuning in on Facebook. Dennis Gonzalez checking in. Lashley's making Drew go down with the Hurt Lock was beautiful, was dominant, it was necessary. What's going on this morning? Jason, Michael Campbell as well.
I don't think Vince ever wanted Lashley to leave back in 2007. I really don't.
No.
I really don't. That was because remember, Brock had pretty much already been out about 3 years by that point. Mm-hmm. That was his replacement right there. That Vince wanted him to. I'll put it this way: Lashley never leaves. Lashley's a multi-time world champion by now.
Well,
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
As the world may never know about how many licks it takes to get the center of a Tootsie Rolls pop, we're gonna have to have that go there. But I tell you something, I like how it started off the night, and I remember at a beginning saying earlier today on multiple shows I was on yesterday that having it be the match to me. I've said before, it's not the number one title in the company anymore. That's the Universal Championship. But none of that being aside, no asterisk on that at all. It's still a championship. It's still a major championship. It's still the most prestigious championship in that company to fans. Okay, Bobby has that title, and the way to open the show I thought was wonderful. And then a match that the night before on Unpopular Review, Smackdown Review, with the executive consultant Chris Harris himself, I joined him and I said, I would go to the bathroom on this match. And I wasn't trying to be rude to the ladies involved. I just thought that WrestleMania SmackDown to me was disrespectful as a fan. Because I've always heard, and it's all we've ever heard, is that Vince wants everybody on the card. Vince wants everybody to get that WrestleMania payday. Well, why they're doing this? I didn't like that. And I thought you could have the tag team title match not be on there, but a turmoil match be on there. But I will tell you this much.
Was that a Fox move, Mike?
It could have been. It could have been. And that's a very well thing that intelligent wrestling fan. There you are. Okay. It could have been a Fox move, but as a wrestling fan, it hurt. It's like I told you before about the Phil Brooks CM Punk thing. I respect the hell out of Phil Brooks. That's what's up. Forget the company. Get your money and your woman. But as a wrestling fan, CM Punk, you lied to me and you left. So F you. I'm not screaming CM Punk's name anymore. That's how I feel. But when I saw this match and I seen this match unfold, I gotta say, this tag team women's turmoil match to me was very entertaining. I was surprised by the Riot Squad. Their gear was on point with the Joker and Harley Quinn. The original Harley Quinn in the WWE. Let's keep it real. I love Alexa Bliss. We all love Blitzy. But Liv had it first, and then Alexa kind of took it and just ran with it better because we like her better, and so it worked better. But their gear was on point. The match was on point. I loved it. I love it. My daughter's excited, and the winners of the match, I called it. I mean, if you saw Smack Talk Center, right, or what Talking Smack, I'm sorry, they were on there, and these promos were amazing. The winners, Natalya and Tamina. The veterans, the legends, the future Hall of Famers, they deserve to be where they are. Corey, you left the screen, so Platt, I'm gonna go with you. Your thoughts on the tag team turmoil women's division?
So first and foremost, this is barbershop talk. So can we all come to a consensus that Tamina could get it?
I've never been attracted to Tamina. I'm being honest. I am.
Wow.
Listen, I am that guy that other guys can't stand because I will always turn down something that guys go crazy over. They get mad. Man, I'm sorry. I've seen enough TNA in my entire life that I don't get excited by every TNA. I just don't. And I watched Tamina for so long, and then like my mind, I'm one of them weird dudes. Like my mind knows she's not even into dudes. So I can't get hype about Tamina. I love her. I love her to death, but no, she doesn't move the needle for me, as you would say.
All right, fair enough. But no, this match, it exceeded expectations. I thought this was going to be the bathroom match. Hell, I started this match in the bathroom, but I came out and, shout out to the fans. And you could tell it was palatable that the wrestlers were excited to be around fans again. And that came across in everybody's performance this evening.
Yeah.
And this took what should have been a mundane match, and it made it something more than that,
Absolutely. I agree with that. What's funny, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because there was a certain extra oomph in people that they knew the fans were there, even if it was only 25, which I thought that was funny. WWE was touting that as a sellout of 25,576, I think it was, which it is. Legally, it's a sellout. If that's how many tickets they allow, and it was sold out, then it was sold out.
So Ticketmaster buys the tickets? I'm asking because I don't know. I'm being honest, because this morning I'm watching the news. I told you I'm on my way down to Tampa. It's pouring. And the news said, sold out last night, sold out tonight. I'm like, that's a lie. I can go get tickets right now. So I can buy tickets right now for StubHub, off of Ticketmaster. I can do, shout out to the Wrestling Marks of Excellence again, Champ Creed Zone, who taught me very well. That man told me he don't buy tickets. He waits till the day of the event to go to the door, and he always gets in the building. So I would never, be scared. There's tickets if you want to go. Yeah. So is that technically a sellout if I can go buy a ticket?
It's a sellout based on how many at a certain time. I think what it is, the criteria, if I'm not mistaken, is whatever they allow at a certain time up to where they can cut it off and say, this is what was allowed up to this point, and it's a sellout. Yeah. I think they can do that. So 25,000 plus is a sellout for them. That's fine. But we digress. The women, they did an excellent job. It was pretty much the replacement of the women's battle royal to me. Yeah. That was what it was. And I thought they did a good job. It got all of the major women that have been on TV the last couple of months. It got them on WrestleMania. Dare I say, even leading, we're kind of jumping the gun, but I think Natalya and Tamina get them tonight. I really do.
No need to jump the gun, and that's fine, because I was going to get in that anyway. But to jump that gun, I also agree with you in that. And I think that Talking Smack episode said a lot. I think there's some things with the company that none of us will ever understand, right? And I think one of the things that the world has changed, the company is trying to change, just don't know how to kind of do it in a wrestling way that appeases every kind of wrestling fan. But they're trying to make amends for a lot of mistakes they have done over the years to their talent, to me. And people get mad about guys like Andrade leaving and things like that. Everybody's not for everything. My wife loves a certain restaurant that I don't necessarily love. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. Every music's not for everybody. What's your favorite DMX song versus what my favorite DMX song is? Rest in peace, X. All right, all dogs go to heaven. But that's just life. So I think that exactly when these women who won last night, Tamina and Natty, top 50 of all time, okay? Tamina never getting her rightful push, never getting the female, as your uncle said last night on his show on the showcase, that chance to be the Samoan SWAT dominant woman that she could have been and should have been, and all of a sudden her cousin comes in and is that, so to speak. You know what I mean? And Nia Jax and Natty never holds anything worth anything long enough that, unless you're a diehard wrestling fan, like my daughter don't even like these girls because the way they're presented on TV. And she's like, Dad, how come you like them so much? I gotta say, well, history. They've done this. They've been there. All she says is they lose all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's from an 11-year-old girl's perspective who loves female wrestling. She's changed my life, my baby girl, when it comes to me looking at female wrestling on television. But also last night, because to me this is a great pay-per-view, some will say, and we're going to ask, and I'm going to ask it right now, this should have, and well, people said was the match of the night. I do not agree that it was the match of the night, although I think it was a very, 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 very good match. And I was surprised, and I was shocked, and I understand, and I was wrong. This is the only match I got wrong all night. I did not think Cesaro was going to go over. I know everybody kept saying he's here for this major push, but every time someone said someone's here for a major push, that they get pushed right out the door. So I did know that they like him. I know that he re-signed, but white Jesus himself losing at WrestleMania, it can happen because he's Seth freaking Rollins. This ain't Kenny Omega. This is Seth freaking Rollins. There's a difference, okay? Kenny Omega would have won this match because he needs to win this match. Seth Rollins don't need to win this match, and he did not win this match, Chris. Winner of this match, Cesaro, breaking the record with the swings. Your thoughts on this match? Was it match of the night?
Oh, hell no, it wasn't match of the night. We discussed match of the night earlier with Lashley and Drew McIntyre and that whole scenario. We discussed that. It was a really good wrestling match. I was surprised by the outcome. I thought White Jesus was going to pull this one out. Y'all know, everybody, the IWC, they go up for Cesaro. I never saw it. I never saw him as anything more than a good hand and a damn good wrestler. But if they are going to try to give him a push, let's see what he can do. Let's go for it.
Corey, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, y'all gonna hate me because I thought it was match of the night.
I'm not gonna hate you. No, people say it. People say it is. And I say it's top three. It's just not for me. You know how how did you feel about Justice League if you've seen Justice League? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when people overhype something and you watch, so you're like, oh yeah, it was very good, but because I expected, which my fault, right? Because I don't have people in movies do that to me. I go into every movie like I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is. But everybody's in my ear, my kids, everybody's match of the night. To me, it was great.
No, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just for me, I think.
Yeah. Tell me why.
I think more so the other two matches that are ranked ahead of them, rightfully so by people, is that there's the additive of a championship and a story with those. For in-ring, for me, that was the match of the night. That was the one where I was sitting there like, oh man, this is really good. And I kept saying, I was like, this is really good. This is really good. And I knew Seth didn't need this match. And I never thought Seth even had a chance of winning it in the first place. He didn't need it. He was already so over. He was bigger than the match anyway. This was all for Cesaro. Like at this point, this was to appease people. Seth didn't need this match. This was to get him on the card and have Cesaro have a credible opponent to give him this push if he's going to get one. So. Yeah, Seth's the man for putting him over, though.
He's Seth freaking Rollins. Again, I just said he's not Kenny Omega. My man Hugo chimed in Platt and said that he said, you know, my boy Corey know it was match of the night. So I'm assuming Hugo feels that was match of the night as well. A lot of wrestling fans did, but y'all know me. Y'all know I'm always going to be different than that. So it was great. I'm sorry, Lashley and McIntyre from a sports entertainment perspective.
Sure.
You know, it's
Mhm.
we don't get those often anymore where you get two big guys. It's I don't know. It's just when you see him with nothing with I love Brock Lesnar, but he's not the
Mhm.
Brock Lesnar that they used to let him be. He's a different kind of, it's a different phase of Brock Lesnar. He doesn't do the things that young Brock did that we believe Brock can do. He suplexes and that's it, knees, right? And shoulders. They got it on last night. But hey, great match taking on from these brothers WrestleMania. Congratulations to Cesaro for getting what he, been long overdue to have. And then another surprise match. The New Day just keep delivering. Coming out with Big E Langston introducing them was great. The 8-bit fusion they did was great. The New Day continue. Shout out to Kofi for the J's. Okay, with the ones on. Like this, everything about the New Day is great. The hair, to me, I thought came from Xavier Woods. If anybody's a fan of Hook, all right, what was the guy who was in Hook?
Rufio. He's done Rufio before. He's done
Right.
Rufio before.
Yeah, that was the Rufio hair. And to me, the New Day can't do no wrong, so they lose. And listen, I was pleasantly surprised by that man almost. I'm sorry. I thought, here we go, big. Giants to me don't never pan out well. And they lost the Big Show, right? Braun Strowman, we'll talk about that in a second. And how do you feel about Braun and what Braun is? But Braun has to go against somebody at some point, right? And for what it's worth, the smirks, the the things that he did in that ring, I was very impressed with the way that he sold. Like, I already like him better than Killian Cross. How about that? Your thoughts on this, Corey? Because
you must like him enough that you won't even get Karrion Kross's name right.
That's why I keep saying it wrong. That's exactly why I keep saying it wrong. I think he's just a look only. But go ahead. We're talking about Almost and the new tag team champions of the world.
Yeah, no, it was done correctly. I love how Xavier Woods, it was at one point earlier on in the match, he's like, this is tag team wrestling. I'm cutting off the ring. I'm like, he's gold. Like, forever keep him.
Yeah, yes.
But just the way the mannerisms from New Day, how they sold the match from beginning to end, from the happiness and we got this, to where Xavier's on that top rope and AJ kicks Kofi off, and they all realize the moment's there, and he's getting ready to tag in Almost, and it's like Xavier's face. He's like, "No, don't." The way that got tied in. Shout out to New Day for selling that and helping make everybody made Almost look good. AJ, Kofi, Xavier, all of them made him look as important as he was supposed to in that match. He didn't do much. I mean, he's still green, and it's very evident, but he's going to get better. But as an introduction to the wrestling universe, that this guy's pretty much here to stay.
Yeah.
I thought it was done very well by all parties involved. Like I said, for AJ to build him up as, this is my help. This is the guy I need on my side. To New Day selling it as, oh man, we don't have a chance once he gets in here. So I thought it was very well done.
And I think that's exactly what made it was, all parties involved to have this young guy who's as green as there can be in all intent purposes. First match, be it WrestleMania. Be with these three greats. AJ phenomenal. Like the New Day, we talk about, we can give them their flowers all day for the rest of the day. This is it. That could have been no better position to be involved in, and to sell it the way they sold. Like I can't even. I want to repeat it because you said it so good. I want to hear myself say it too, because it was that good how they sold it, and everything about that match was good, surprising, and happily surprised. AJ Styles I believe someone said this made him a Grand Slam champion now.
Yep.
So AJ gets his flowers even more now. The phenomenal one is here. So that was great. This, to me, the reason why one of the best things I love about how I choose to do streams and podcasts and so forth is that I love to wait and let it marinate the show. I think sometimes it sits in better. You get to hear dialogue. You can read things. And just, it's like breaking down a movie when you leave in a movie theater. You talk about it going home. It makes the movie either better or worse, or as you drive home and discuss it. And this show was so solid. And I said going into this that on paper, looking at the matches, it looks pretty damn good, right? But I thought the storyline builds to some of them were rushed and were not good. And And so I was disappointed in that. And then Friday's WrestleMania SmackDown that maybe Fox threw out there did get me interested for what it's worth. And got me hyped. And then I also know that it's WrestleMania season. It doesn't take much for us to get hyped if you're a true wrestling fan and a true mark for this business. It's just WrestleMania. You're going to get hyped anyway. And I saw this match, and no one wanted to kind of see it. No one cared about Shane McMahon. They want to rip Shane apart. They want to rip Braun Strowman apart. You know what I heard? You know what I saw? I saw when Braun Strowman won this match and how he won this match. I saw fans remember how he was used before. And that's what I thought was great by the WWE, because he was this giant. He's ripping off doors. He's dumped over the Miz and Morrison and a truck and dumps it over, rips the cage off, throws him through the cage. The way that he did, that was impressive. And to be having delay, all people kept saying was they're going to cut these matches. They're going to cut these. I don't think they cut a damn thing yesterday. I think this was all full running times. If anything was lost, was pyro because of weather. Okay. But overall, this match delivered. I was entertained by this match. Real fast, your thoughts on this one, Corey?
It's just gonna say this was exactly what we're supposed to do. Shane was there to make Braun look like Braun again. And something that you mentioned earlier, I really think, just like TakeOver, in my opinion, night one's gonna end up being better than night two. Not from just necessarily it's gonna be bad, that night two's gonna be terrible. But night one's going to end up being better than night two, because just like TakeOver, I just feel as though night two is so stacked that it's not going to live up to the expectations of being as stacked as it is.
Like that match between Jason Statham and White Jesus, Seth Rollins. It's just too much to live up to. I like that, because that can very well happen. Go ahead, Chris.
And I mean, no, I agree with Corey. And plus, night one has the added advantage of it was over a year since fans were able to be in the building. You can't match that energy. You just can't. Now, as far as Shane and Braun, this was great. I mean, I hated the build. They're fighting because Shane called Braun stupid. And I'm like, God damn it, you're a wrestler. Throw this melon farmer in a dumpster and keep it moving like an escalator. Okay, act like you're a combat fighter, right? But I mean, no, it was cool for what it was. And I mean, Braun is in that Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry category, where we know who he is, we know what he is, and every now and again they're going to heat him up to get a big match out of him, and that's just what it is at this point in time. Yeah,
you know what?
But this is good.
What was great about last night to me, and I hope that night two can live up to night one. We'll get to that real fast here in the next couple of minutes. Is the storytelling in the ring through the matches. And I mean through all of them, including this match, because you're going in this match, you're saying, and I'm hearing people saying, he better whoop his ass. And I mean quick, especially with the delay. This match is going to be over fast, right? But to tell the story, he getting jumped, to tear the knees out, like it told a story. It was the entire night, every match delivered from a storytelling perspective. And to me, that's all wrestling has to be about and continue. When I say wrestling is storyline, it had to tell you the story leading into it, and it had to finish it in the ring. That's why we love guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect and Barry Windham, these guys, and Randy. They tell stories in the ring still. You know what I mean? And so that's pretty good, and that's pretty great. Also, moving on, because everybody wants to talk about this.
My bad.
Go right ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, brother. Talking about Braun, talking about he got bullied all this time by people like Shane. It's bullshit. Because in real life, how that goes, if you was getting bullied like that, you lift some weights and then you become a cop. That's how that story plays out in real life. Okay, so cut the shit.
Well, people, let's just go on and say it right here, right now. The most surprising, most shocking moments of the night had to been Bad Bunny and the greatest entrance of the night, the most shocking performance of the night. Got a chance to peep out the show last night, Corey, and I heard I think that was Dwayne mentioned or Chant mentioned the greatest performance of a celebrity, and I would have to say, I think you said Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Of a non-athletic celebrity, this was the greatest goddamn wrestling.
Yeah, see, that's where the caveat is, though, Mike. You have to put in non-athletic. Or something. If it's just left as celebrity, I'm sorry.
No, Ronda Rousey by far.
Yeah,
but by far is Ronda Rousey. But a non-athlete Sure. Not a football player, not a basketball player, a straight up just guy.
Mm-hmm.
This delivered so well, and fans appreciated it. And here's the thing with wrestling fans. Can you hear me now? All right, we back. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know what happened. Stupid Mac. Like if you know computers, it just back. It just went back on me. It just backed the page. Like, what are you doing? I'm in the middle. I'm in mid soliloquy right now. But fans literally loved this match, and what fans appreciate. What I was going to say is that fans appreciate when someone comes into this business and takes it serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fans respect, and that's what happened last night. Bad Bunny came in to something. He been training for a while, and he gave it his all. And the majority of the match was him. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I'm saying, here come the tag. Everybody's saying Damian Priest is going to do the damage. This is for Damian Priest. He's going to get the hot tag and come in. No. This was Bad Bunny. He's the one who took the risk. He had to make up for Royal Rumble when he made the slip off the top of the rope. Bad Bunny delivered, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon because we're still in a pandemic. What concert are they going to put on? What tours he have to go on? He might show up. He might. I'm not saying he's going to stay around forever, but I don't think this was a one and done with him and the Miz in them. It was too incredible, and Vince sees money, and this guy's money. I'm not a fan of him. Told my daughter, he said that I'm sorry, I like his music. I said, don't apologize to me. I said, you like what you like. I said, it ain't for me, but if you like it, I don't know a word he's saying, Dad, but it makes me bounce. I say, rock out then. Okay? Corey, your thoughts on this just surprising match of the greatest non-athletic celebrity match of all time?
I think more so that this was, for me, I had already been hearing, and I'm sure you guys as well, he had been training at least since January, if not before then.
Right.
And I'm hearing he's in a performance center 2-3 times a week or something like that. Like he did exactly what I expected of somebody who took it seriously. He came out there, and I'm not saying, I wasn't surprised. No, I was very pleasantly surprised by how well he did. But then again, also, I did expect it because he was taking it seriously. And it already showed. He was on TV more than most people that ever has been a celebrity on there. He was consistently on the product. So that told me he was already taking it seriously just by showing up.
Yo, shout out to
the performance, like you mentioned, for him to be pretty much the one that took most of the heat for the match, it was like, okay, this guy did very well. I was one of the ones that did think, I thought Damian was going to be the one to come in and get the pin because I thought at the end, that's the guy who needed to be getting the pin to be going over. But then again, it's also the celebrity. You want the
his first WrestleMania match too. And also his first WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Debut at WrestleMania.
I'll say this about Damian Priest. He's the guy, when I see him, I say if they invest the time in him, because I think he will invest the time, but if they invest the time in him, he's going to be a mega star. He really is. They got to do it now, though, because he's a little on the older side than what most guys are.
Yeah.
So they kind of got to, if they're going to do something when they need to do it now. But I think if they do it, I don't think they'll be disappointed.
Shout out to my man Dennis saying low-key match of the night. My man Scott Thomas saying Bad Bunny Destroyer over Petey Williams Destroyer. Dude, he threw that off. That was even the Miz said, holy shit. Like, it was insane that he did that move. I like when he sold the headbutt. Little things like that is what I love to pay attention to in rings too. Like I said, he sold it. He did a very good job. Platt, your thoughts on Dennis saying low-key match of the night?
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, but just backing up just a little bit to what Corey said. I agree. I love Damian Priest. And the main reason I love Damian Priest is because he's a grown-ass man. And I don't think we have a lot of that in today's landscape in professional wrestling. Just a grown ass man, and everything he does is believable. His talk is believable. He looks like $1 million. So I agree. And obviously this was the caveat to try to get him over. But shout out to Bad Bunny as well. I mean, hell, Bad Bunny throws a better working punch than 75% of that roster. Point blank, period. Yeah. And I was, it's not for me. I always thought the pairing of those two was a little weird because Damian Priest seems more like a rock and roll guy as opposed to hip hop. But, it's WWE and they're Puerto Ricans and they didn't think past that. It just is what it is. But But shout out to Bad Bunny, man. He obviously put the work in and it came across in this match. And his music's not for me, but like you guys alluded to, I respect anybody that respects this business enough to actually put the work in. And he has clearly put the work in.
Yeah.
Guys, and with that, there was one more match to end night one before we talk about night two. And that was the epic, incredible, history-making match that, to me, came out of nowhere. That it was named to be the main event. I just didn't think it would be. I don't even have the words, honestly, to express because I say all the time that my name is Mike Knoxxx, spelled with 3 X's. I'm hardcore, but I'm as soft as they're coming when it comes to my children. And watching my daughter reaction and face to this and seeing this, I was telling my kids, y'all spoiled. You know what I mean? Because they're my kids, so they're going to like what I like, right? You're Cub fans. What? The Cubs won the World Series? You saw that before you turned 10 years old. The Eagles won a Super Bowl? You saw that. You don't know my pain, right? You saw President Barack Obama. You have no idea what's going on. And then you see Kofi Kingston. All these things you keep seeing, and then you roll into seeing Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. And I want to echo something that Corey said earlier about Seth Rollins, and everybody says about Seth Rollins, and he didn't need this. Well, going into this, I thought Sasha Banks did need it. I thought that she put in so much work. She is arguably top 5 of all time, everyone to place her. Okay, your choice, your list. But she's one of the greatest who's ever done it. And she does not get the payoffs at the biggest events. Politically, we know that was part of the reason why they had that little split in timeout between her and the WWE, where she was gone for 5-6 months because how bad she felt she was treated at WrestleMania. So to see them come back, to see her in this thing, I just thought she would win it. But I'm going to move on from that because Bianca Belair won. And Bianca Belair winning on so many levels was, if you could see it in the company, and this picture of her in the crowd, people saying she celebrated for like 15 minutes after it was over and them letting her, celebrate like that. You can see the change in it. You can see the fact that these girls, that this company that I said earlier was changing and trying to make some mistakes up. Let them have that emotional take in this ring before the match started. And to me, right next to Shawn Michaels saying, "I love you" to Ric Flair before he gives him Sweet Chin Music, to me was this moment right there, watching them break down in that ring before the match begins and then suck it up and go to work. When I say go to work, if you want to say this is match of the night, go right ahead. I am not. I told you 1A1 from the beginning of the show. This match delivered the things that I thought Bianca, and I'm pricking here like a little splinter in your finger. Things I thought she didn't do very well, she did so damn awesome last night. That slam, and she walked. I said she gonna walk up the stairs, and I get she carried Otis on her back, but this is in the middle of a match, and it's been raining. You know what I'm saying? And she just powers her up the stairs, and just the use of the hair. And my daughter's like, they're always gonna like. I said, baby, as long as she has that hair, it's gonna be involved in the match. It's a very smart way to involve things in the match, and the reversals, just the false finishes, her face when she thought she had her. And she was bugging out and then fixed her face to get back to business. Everything about this was great, including, if you haven't seen it, I'm quite sure you guys are wrestling marks like myself. He's one of the wrestling marks of excellence, nephew Corey, Belt King Extraordinaire. I call him Belt Emperor. And that's the Platinum Smooth Velvet Voice. I know you've seen her outside the ring. Oh, she come to the ring looking like a big old pack of Nile from the corner store to Sasha Banks. Not mad, not upset, smiling and enjoying that moment for her colleague, her friend, Bianca Belair. applaud these girls. I cannot do it no more than that. They were just phenomenal. Night one. You're right, Corey. I don't know how you can top that. Corey, your thoughts on this main event? Got yourself muted, buddy.
Sorry,
that's fine.
It was the main event. It was, for every intent and purpose of what a main event is supposed to be. That was the main event. Not necessarily, to me, match of the night, but it was the main event, and it delivered. I really thought Sasha was going to win this, and the reason why is because I was sitting here like, she's like 0-5 at Mania or something. She's never had the signature Mania win. The other horsewomen have all won championship matches at WrestleMania. And I just really thought the way it was being booked the last couple of weeks, which is great by creative because it fooled me. I was like, Sasha may win this. And it was starting to feel that way. It was almost, they were booking it to where it was almost as if the moment was too big for Bianca right now. And that's why I was like, okay, Sasha may win, which is great storytelling because then they flip the script completely, or not even flip the script. They go with what their plan was, and Bianca wins. And the delivery, the use. This is really one of the only times she's ever used the hair in her match as a face, because she used it a lot as a heel.
Okay, I heard them saying that, and her heel run to me wasn't big enough. I guess I didn't pay attention to her back then. I'm not gonna lie. There was things in her game that, just like early on with Sasha Banks when she first came out, I had to believe a person being in her character, and so I didn't believe her as that character until recently. Actually, until I seen that, I think it was the Chronicles 24/7 made me actually a fan of Bianca Belair. I saw how humble she was, and I seen what her life had came through with that. But go ahead, finish with your
just like I said, just for it to be utilized and come full circle at the ending of the match, and her utilizing the hair to help win. Because it's not illegal. It's a part of her body. It's not illegal. So, for them to use that, I thought that was very well. The only thing I didn't like, I just noticed little things like this. I mean, take the time to update your graphics, because when she came out, it still had the EST of NXT. And I was like,
yeah, like, that was a little lazy. And they don't never do, and their production's too immaculate for those mistakes.
That's what I'm saying. They're too good at what they do to let that little oversight happen. And that even happened, I think, maybe a year or two, probably like 2 years ago or so at the Royal Rumble. They used a graphic for Brock, and he came out and he was Universal Champion, and his graphic still said WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I was like, y'all have enough eyes on y'all stuff to fix stuff like that. I know I'm probably extra with that, but
no. Listen, I watched a show called Mixes, and one of the episodes, the mother-in-law had Zach Morris as the dad take her to the store, and she said, "Boy, I just want you to drive me around. I'm from like driving Miss Daisy." I said, "What? This show is not based in that timeline." I had to, excuse me, Google with it. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that's wrong. So I understand little things like that mess with your brain cells. Before I give your thoughts, Platt, I'm reading some of the comments up on Facebook, and they're going pretty hard on this match. 0-6 at WrestleMania for Sasha. Can we shout out the outfits that they had on a side note, Dennis? Again, Sasha Banks looking like a whole pack of 9-liters was impressive. Okay, I'm sorry. I just, the sweet and sour, the lemon lime, she had it going on. I'm not even a big Sasha Banks aesthetically looking fan like most of you guys are. Hugo had a point about...
It's me. I'm guys. That's me. Go ahead, Mike.
No. Do you think she can still improve in the ring? And again, those are things when it came to Bianca Belair that I agree. And he said she may still be a little green. All those things are still there. You can still be green. Here's the thing when it comes to like Bianca Belair and people who may say that. Carmella to me is still green. And I'll tell people from the beginning, Mella is money, not because of what she does in the square circle necessarily. It's everything else she does, right? And I always thought, I thought Bianca was lacking in the ring. I thought Bianca lacked everything else, the opposite of Carmella. And so for me, on my side of things, when it comes to Bianca Belair, I saw that from her last night. I saw the selling. I saw the different facial expressions. I saw her just differently inside the squared circle. And maybe all this time it was the fans being there. Some people perform better in front of a crowd. I tell people all the time, you put me, what Eminem say? You only got one chance, one shot. What you going to do with it? When you're in front of fans, you got to perform. And I think she did an immaculate job doing that last night. And I couldn't have been more proud of those ladies and the match they put on, the finish in itself, the using the hair. You heard it. You saw the people in the crowd go, "Oh my God!" And you can see the whelp on Sasha Banks' belly after she hits that move. Platt, your thoughts on this wonderful match?
So first and foremost, man, you got to quit bringing up that Cub shit whenever I'm on the line with you. That's still a sore spot. Okay, Corey, I'm from Cleveland.
Don't blame me.
That's still
Blame
a sore
God.
spot for me.
Don't
okay?
blame me. Blame God. Okay, y'all had the game won. He said, "Let there be a rain delay," and I thank him for that. I mean, come on, move on. Now you're from Cleveland. Come on, now who goes to Cleveland on vacation? Huh? Who goes to Cleveland on vacation?
Word.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
The Miz, you have the Miz. No, matter of fact, he left Cleveland too. He left. He went to LA with LeBron, didn't he? Yeah, he don't even live in Cleveland anymore. Go ahead. And he's awesome.
We beat the Eagles' ass. We beat the Eagles' ass this year, but that's neither here nor there. Moving right along. Another thing.
Hey, listen, we don't bring that up.
You caught it straight. It's my bad, bro. You caught it straight. I was spraying. You caught it straight. It
look
happens,
at that. And I have an
man.
Ohio State shirt on and everything, and he's not even.
We still love you, man. It just happens sometimes like that. You know what it is. It's all love. Number two, though, Sasha looked amazing, but I got to bring up that wig. Okay, number one, it started like right here on the Jerry Rice cornrow side of the game. Like, what are y'all doing, WWE? And you had a rain delay. You could have fixed that shit during the delay. What are you doing? But all jokes aside, seriously, I got to be honest, man. When they announced that this match was going to be the main event, I kind of rolled my eyes. Not because of the combatants, because I love both of them, but I thought that it was kind of pandering for the sake of pandering because of the world that we're in right now. And I didn't feel like the build that they gave these women was main event worthy. But you know what? Fuck everything I just said. When these two women came out, this was, as Mike alluded to, this was the main event. And everything it meant, it was a fantastic match. And I love both of these women. And Bianca, the genuine emotion that she shows in these moments when she wins, it comes across. You know what I mean? It really does. Because if this was an actual sporting event, if she had just won an NBA title or a World Series or a Super Bowl or something like that, that's the type of emotion that you would convey in these moments. And she's money. Like, everything about her is money. Everything about her says star. She's beautiful. She's charismatic. She's got the story. She's super athletic. She's probably the best athlete in the WWE, period. Male or female. Like, she's that good. So, yeah, is she green in the ring? Yes. But that doesn't matter. She's money. And I think she's going to make them money. And they see what they have with her. And this moment, shout out to both of those women. They went out and they made a WrestleMania moment.
The three biggest moments of night one: Bianca Belair winning, the almighty Bobby Lashley winning, the almost debut, and then, of course, Bad Bunny. I mean, I think night one just really, a lot of things were said there. Corey said it best. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you, with the bigger hitters on night two? And let's get in that real fast, because I don't think I'm going to have a pre-show later today, guys. I'm thinking I'm going to get in my car and drive to Tampa in this goddamn weather storm. All right? I'm out of this piece. I'm going down to Tampa. I'm getting hyped for WrestleMania, and it's only 10:20 in the morning. Let's get it done. Happy WrestleMania Sunday to you guys as well. And let's get into night two. And let's talk about who you got in this match between Matt Riddle and Sheamus. Now, I saw this. It isn't mine. This is Nietzsche's. When you take some from somebody, you don't even say their name. At least give them credit that you know that it ain't George. You came up with it. WrestleMania 28. I'm in the building. I'm putting down my belts. All I hear is, what? Ding, 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 ding. And the match was over. If you don't remember, that was Daniel Bryan kissing AJ Lee. And then he gets bro kicked by Sheamus. And the match is over. I like Matt Riddle, but I heard somebody say that, and I want a copy off of that, and I want that moment to happen tonight at WrestleMania. Hopefully there's not another rain delay, but possibly there will be. I'm taking Sheamus to beat Matt Riddle in this match. No, I'm lying. Matt Riddle is going to retain. No, I don't know. All right, I'm going with Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle retains in this match. Corey, who you got?
Oh, yeah, nah, Matt Riddle's winning this. They love him. They really do.
I mean, they're talking about getting high on TV. You know they must love you.
Yeah, he's winning. At this point, I don't think Sheamus will get it here. I think he may get it like next month or something at Backlash or something like that. But no, I think this moment's for Riddle. This WrestleMania will really kind of showcase some of the newer guys and the newer talent, and give them at least these small rubs. And this is one of them. I think Riddle gets this.
Who you got in this one, Platt?
I agree, man. This is all Spicoli, aka Matt Riddle. In this
That's right.
They do. They absolutely love him, and he's a certifiable badass. But shout out to Sheamus, though. Over the past 6 months, he's been doing great work. People sleep on Sheamus, but Sheamus is phenomenal. He really is.
I'm a Sheamus mark from day one. I'm sorry. I've always been a fan of Sheamus. That's why low key I want that moment to happen again. In that. Moving on, as we're in night 2, what I thought was going to be the match of WrestleMania, as everybody talked about Cesaro and Rollins, they inserted Logan Paul into this. And because of that, now I was, I don't know, but potentially to me, they don't need to have a story. They got 20 years of having a story. I love everything that Sami Zayn has done over the last year. It's been a storyline for a year that has continued, that they've let off TV when he left because of COVID and came back. And then Kevin Owens is just Kevin Owens. They can always heat this up. My shirt is on the way. They won't be here today. I got my KO Mania 5 shirt that I think they stole from Corey. I'm just going to say that. That you mentioned that. And then in 48 hours, which I'm just saying. So he puts on his page that is Kevin Owens about that shirt. And then all of a sudden, I'm just saying, I know they be listening. But match of the night, I still hope for it. I'm a super, super mark for these guys. There's guys in wrestling that you just absolutely love when they fight against each other. And you can name them in history. We don't have that much time left. But this is 2 guys for me that can always go. To me, Fight Forever is meant for these 2 guys. In this match, however, I want Sami Zayn to win. I hope Sami Zayn wins for everything I just said about the storyline purposes. But I think Kevin Owens wins this match, Corey.
I thought, well, I'll put it this way. Let me backtrack. If this match is anything like what they had in DC in Battleground for 2016, it can be match of the night. However, I don't think that story is where they're going with that. I do think Sami wins. I think he still gets stunned at the end and something happens with Logan Paul possibly. But I think Sami wins this. I could be totally wrong and it probably will be KO. But I'm going with Sami, though.
Who else has a better or worse record like Kevin Owens has at WrestleMania also, to be honest with you? Like, what is his win proof? He did beat Seth last year. I forgot he beat Seth last year?
Yeah, he beat Seth last year. He's 2-2.
He beat Jericho.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's 2. I don't know who else, but
that's
I'm so happy.
He lost the Intercontinental Ladder match, and then he beat Jericho, and then he lost the tag match when Daniel Bryan returned, and then he beat Seth. So he's 2-2. I mean, he's average.
Whoa, somebody called Paul a D-bag. Whoa, kiss your mother with that mouth? Who you got in this match, Platt, with 2 T's?
I'm so happy for both of these guys that they get to have this match at WrestleMania because we all know the history between the 2. And I'm sure this is a dream come true to both of them. And Mike, I'm kind of with you on this. Like, if you give these guys 15, 20 minutes to go out and tell their story, they'll steal the show. They're that good. As far as the match, I think Sami wins and Logan Paul eats a stunner in the end.
Okay. I like that. I don't have the graphic, but that's okay. The women's tag team match, we talked about it earlier. Tamina and Natty going against who I call Beauty and the Beast, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, 2 of my favorite female wrestlers of all time. Sorry, I love Nia Jax. I know people say they don't like how she wrestles and this and that other, but she's a bona fide. People have to remember, wrestling is entertainment. You have to look like a star. When you look at women wrestling, look at her. You know what I'm saying? And then Shayna Baszler's all around badass. But I do think Tamina and Natty wins, as I said earlier. Corey?
Yeah, I agree. I think Natalya and Tamina get this one. I really do.
And it should be well-deserved. Platt?
Just to be contrary, for the sake of being a contrarian, I'll go with Shayna Baszler and Big Fine, a.k.a. Nia Jax.
Big Fine. Oh, big old right apple her. And staying with the women division, we're going to have Rhea Ripley, as you refer to her as the luscious Rhea Ripley, versus Asuka.
Delicious, sir. Delicious.
I'm sorry. Well, I won't call a grown man delicious, but I will call her that. Rhea Ripley, delicious Rhea Ripley taking on Asuka, and just this whole thing to me was my girl, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Charlotte
Why are you yelling?
When you talked about Charlotte Flair, you have to yell it because Andrade's yelling every night. Probably. I'm just saying. Charlotte Flair is not here. Oscar's a placeholder. This was have been Rhea and Charlotte to me, part 2 from last year. Rhea wins this match, and that's just what it is. That's what I'm going with. Oscar, I don't know. But Oscar's also one of them girls that you just don't know with also. She has that shameless appeal. She has that when they go into a match, even if you think they're going to lose that match, they could still win it, more than even a Dolph Ziggler. With Dolph, you just know you're going to put a good match and they might pull it. With Asuka and Sheamus, they might pull it at any given moment because those guys and she can go. So Asuka can very well win this match and to me should win the match because the build has been so horrible. This girl has walked onto Raw, got a match out of nowhere for the title out of nowhere, and it doesn't make any sense, but it's there. This is the replacement match, I believe, and there it is. I'm still going with Rhea Ripley to win this match, Platt.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is a star-making moment for Rhea Ripley. She's money, and you alluded to it earlier. One of you guys, I can't remember if it was you, Mike, or Corey, but you talked about how this Mania, a lot of the outcomes kind of represented a changing of the guard. And I think that this match, that was Corey. This match aligns with that perfectly. This is an opportunity to make some new stars and set yourselves up for the future. And I think Rhea takes this. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal match as well because both of these women can go.
True indeed in that, Corey.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rhea is getting this. And part of the reason for that, I think Asuka was going to be slated to lose this all along in the sense of, I think originally we were going to get Asuka versus Charlotte versus Lacey Evans. Mm-hmm. And I thought Lacey Evans was going to walk out of Mania as the women's champion. But, she's now pregnant and Charlotte is now not in the picture. Bring in Rhea Ripley. Regardless of who Asuka was facing, I think Asuka was going to lose. Okay. And it happens to be Rhea Ripley, and I'm going to stick with that. It's Rhea Ripley that's winning this.
The match that I hope steals the show. First of all, what the hell is a Nigerian drum match? Wale, can someone call in who's Nigerian and tell me what that is? Because I'm just curious. Do I beat you into a drum? Like remember Rocco said, I'm gonna beat you like a Cherokee drum. How do you win this match? And guess what? I don't care. I am here for Apollo and Big E Langston. Winner? God. I wanted to be Big E because I want him to be the single star they spit him off to be. However, every time he fronts, Apollo loses every single time. And then he repackaged Apollo with he beat him into an accent. So I think he has to win this match. So Apollo, it's the reverse Kofi Kingston. What happened to your accent? You got an accent? I'm here for it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But Apollo, I think, needs it more. And in the spirit of the New Day being the New Day, can Big E afford it? But Big E's not in the New Day. I mean, I don't know how you even describe it. Yes, he's in the New Day, but he's away from his boys, right? So it's a catch-22 for me. But for prediction purposes, I'm going to say Apollo wins this match. Corey, your thoughts?
Yeah, just like you all just alluded to, Apollo just he's been losing forever. How seriously can we take his character if he loses again at this point? I think Apollo wins it, and I would love Big E to win it. Mm-hmm. Had Apollo got some kind of nice something over. I mean, he's gotten some over Big E the last couple of weeks or so, which will give plausible cause for Big E to win. Mm-hmm. I just don't see the point of Apollo losing so much and continuing to lose. Can he afford one more loss and then go into like I said, a backlash or something and then win it? Maybe. But I think for the sake of his character right now and what it needs at Mania, I think you give it to him now. I'm going to go with Apollo.
Apollo. Oh, Chris?
Well, first off, Big E is still part of New Day, kind of like how
Yeah, he
Ghostface
is.
or
I
Raekwon
said
or
he
Method
was.
Man
He's
can
just apart
go.
from him. That's
They
all.
go make a. They can go make a solo out, but they're still part of the Wu Tang. So you New Day. If y'all saw that gesture,
I got
I
you.
love Big E, and I want his trajectory to be ultimately Universal Champion. But at this particular point in time, don't you have to put the belt on Apollo? I mean, his character is just way more interesting than what Big E's got going on right now.
Well,
Yeah, I feel like he has to win this.
we're all here for Apollo. And then the most confusing, entertaining match, if I was living in the era in which I thought they should have gone in, it should have gone in, it should have been a cinematic universe match. To have this match in front of a live crowd, what kind of match we're going to get? Is this the end of the Fiend? I think people don't talk about things like he's been burnt. Is he going to be? He has to go like back into the soil, right, and then grow his skin back and come back to some kind of sense of normalcy, right? Because he looks like a burnt Chucky doll / burnt, like creature of the Blue Lagoon. And I'm here for. I've been a fan of everything in the storyline. I have, because it's still wrestling. And if you can tell me you love the Undertaker and Kane and all the things they possessed, and how come you still can't have somebody like what the Fiend and Alexa Bliss are doing? I mean, it's whatever. But how will this equate into this match in the ring? I hate the gear. I love the mask. I hate the gear. It's just. I hate it. How do you wrestle in that? How is he going to move in this? What comes from this? The Fiend has to win, right? So I'm going to go with the Fiend, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I know people will hate me. I've kind of grown tired of the Fiend. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
Stop and go with him. At this point, I'm kind of like, okay, if y'all are gonna do something with him, do it. If not, just end it. But I think with everything that's happened to him, I'm with you, Mike. I think he's got to win this match, right? Like,
just I like Zowie Wowie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. He has to come back. I don't know. Alexa Bliss gets involved. Hopefully, she won't have the second hardest pin in wrestling history, and this time get beat up or get her hair cut off. But she's not involved in the match, so therefore we can't have that pinfall again. But what a wonderful pinfall that was, Alexa Bliss. And I know, Randy, you enjoyed it low key. We know what kind of man you are. We know what you did to JoJo Offerman. I'm just saying. Okay. You sly dog, you. Who wouldn't have done that? Okay. Platt, who you got in this match, man? The Fiend or the Viper?
I'm so pissed off with this whole build. Okay, if I'm the Fiend, Randy Orton, you done burnt my house down. You done burnt me to a crisp. I done set you on fire. You done beat up my woman, and we're going to settle this in a catch-can wrestling match.
He even kicked him.
None of that makes sense to me.
He kicked him in the head too 10 years ago. So it's like,
and you kicked me in the head 10 years ago, 3 characters ago. But we're going to settle this. Yes, a small package in the middle of the ring. That'll settle the score. Yeah. None of this makes sense to me. I do think that the Fiend has to win, but none of this makes sense to me, man. And I just don't get it.
My man Rodney Belt King checking in saying cinematic matches are outlawed, much showish. Listen, I think cinematic matches are great when used properly. That Sting and Darby Allin match in AEW, they bit that off and they did a phenomenal job in that. I thought the Boneyard match was insane. I thought personally, I know a lot of people disagree, but I'm on that, and we talked about it, Platt. That Fiery Fire Hunts match with him and John Cena, to me, I understand those who say they didn't wrestle. It was a great fucking match to me. Okay, it was very, very entertaining. But hey, we all here for what we're here for, and that's WrestleMania Sunday. And how you put this match, it didn't come off good at WrestleMania 35 in Orlando when they tried to do the things in the ring. So I just, what they're going to do, we have to wait and see. You know what?
You talking about the sperm?
Yeah, but because we think it's going to be trash,
Randy.
because we think it's going to be trash, it's probably going to be a good match in all intent purposes now, right? Because this is that match. What the F you're going to get from it, we don't know. So Randy, to me, Harley never delivers. So I'm going to let that rest on that one. Then we go to the main event of night 2. I have my shirt on. The other one's coming. Acknowledge me. He is at the head of the table simply because, did you see how WrestleMania opened up? He was standing next to Vince, and Vince's own son wasn't. Just saying. Okay? He is truly at the head of the table. He puts food on it. He'll take it off, and he'll smile on the camera and say, have a good night. One of the best things I've ever seen in SmackDown this past year. I love Roman. Roman wins this match. That's why I'm going to be there, so I can finally be in a WrestleMania where Roman Reigns is cheered. Because Edge not, Daniel Bryan or not, heel or not, the most popular person, the most popular face in professional wrestling is the head of the table, Roman Reigns. My daughter's in the door saying she calls him Ramen Reigns. She has names for everybody. Baldy Ashley. You know, she said, I can't say it, Dad, because I'm not grown yet. But if you take the S out of the Rollins and put something else there, I'm just saying. I'm like, watch your mouth. Okay? You just said that by spelling it or abbreviating it and insinuating what word you think you're putting in there. Don't fool me-ish with that. But come on, head of the table. I think this match is going to be good. I think Daniel Bryan is putting this match so that Edge doesn't take the pin fall. Daniel Bryan doesn't need it. Edge, I couldn't be mad if Edge does win it, though. The question is, and it's what everybody always wonders, is he a part-timer? How long is Edge back? If Edge wins, what goes from this? A whole lot of things you can insinuate that we do not know or know what the outcome are going to be. Like I said earlier, how many licks does it take to get this in there? But Tootsie Roll Pop. The world may never know. But I'm sorry, he got new teeth. He missed last year's WrestleMania. Weather permitted, we're going to see a great pyro show when the head of the table, Roman Reigns, graces the fans once again. Corey, who wins this match?
Well, whoever does is pinning Daniel Bryan. I don't think Daniel Bryan wins it, which is why Daniel Bryan may end up winning it.
Oh, seriously, God. And I love Daniel Bryan, so just, oh, God.
Yeah, I do, too. Here's the thing. Small side note, it's something about this partnership with DraftKings that really rubs me the wrong way because I just feel as though when they see those lines coming in, those last minute like changes in these odds, WWE will switch the ending. I'm convinced that's what they're going to do. I really feel as though my pick is Edge. Let me say that. My pick is Edge. And it's only because I think Roman will get it back at some point. I think Edge's 10 years to the day that he had to retire is a bigger story.
That's to the day? See, that's why they call him the encyclopedia, the wizard, nephew Corey, 10 years to the day. Jesus. My son's a young wizard, yo. Every match that comes on, he'll go, that guy participated in one. Like the little things that put on the side. I'll be like, all right, son, enough of this stacks. I got you. Good job. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's 10 years to the day that he had to retire and relinquish the, World Heavyweight Championship. So I just really feel that story is the story they're going to roll with. Although this kind of heel Edge, I like this. If this Edge is sticking around for another month or two, I don't mind him getting the belt and then losing it back to Roman. Now, so with that said, I'm going to go with Edge.
How's he the heel? But how's Edge the heel and Daniel Bryan the face in this scenario? I don't understand that at all. Somebody
but you know what, though?
Please.
You're right, Chris. Stranger things have happened, though. We've seen this before where the heel was actually justified in why they were being heelish. And in the face, you're like, why does he deserve it? And I agree.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And that's why Edge is mad. That's why Edge has turned heelish because it's not. He's like, come on. But here's what I echo again. You win the Royal Rumble, it guarantees you a match for the title at WrestleMania. Doesn't guarantee you your kind of match. It doesn't guarantee a one-on-one match. It just guarantees you a title match. Okay,
come on,
that's the truth. That's the story. That's the story of. That's the story of Royal Rumble. What is the story in Royal Rumble? Wrestling is #storyline, right? You win the Royal Rumble, you're the main event at WrestleMania. It doesn't say you get to pick. They've added, which they don't even put in the marquee, you get to pick your opponent. It just says you get to go for a title at WrestleMania. It never specifies what kind of match. And it shouldn't. I don't think that Daniel Bryan should be in the match either. I don't even understand how he got himself into the match. I don't understand any of it. I like what he proposed. because he thought he was screwed out of losing because of the Uso interference, and he did get a Brawl shake. It was a horrible thing, and I thought it then to have the Elimination Chamber match, and then immediately after the match, you got to go for the title against the head of the table. It was completely unfair, and that's Daniel Bryan's gripe. So Daniel Bryan said, "Hey, I'm not going to stomp on your parade or like today, rain on your stage. Give me a match on the first night. You take the match the second night." Even Sonya Deville brought it up again last night in the pre-show. I thought that would have been very intriguing because they had two nights, but they didn't. They wrote a triple threat match, and Daniel takes the loss because of it. Edge wins. I want Roman to win. I like what you said about Edge winning, and also as a belt king, they did just come back off the Radar Superstar belt. That was kind of hard to find. So maybe that does mean something. I like to sell merchandise. Go ahead, Platt. Who you got winning this match?
I think Roman is going to win. I think Roman should win, but I just have this weird inkling in the back of my mind, and I can't get rid of it. I have this vision of at the end of the night, 25,000, 30,000, however many people are there in the stadium, including you, Michael, just chanting, yes, yes.
It's
yes.
a feeling. It really is.
It feels like a moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's how they should go. I'm not even necessarily saying that's how they're gonna go. But I just have this weird suspicion that the night we're gonna go off the air on Peacock. Fuck Peacock, by the way. But we're gonna go off the air on Peacock.
The cock is a horrible network for WWE Network. It's a horrible. Yes. It's horrible. And I like Peacock as a network, honestly, just not WWE on Peacock, by the way. Because I've had Peacock before WWE Network got there, and Peacock's a very good streaming service. It's just horrible with WWE. Yeah. And that's not, I mean, we don't know who's at fault with that necessarily.
I think it'll be fixed. I just think they wanted it out in time for WrestleMania.
But not having a pause screen, and you can't even pause the show.
I'm just happy my volume didn't go out last night, because when Fastlane happened and Takeover happened, my volume literally went out both times. So I'm just happy they fixed that. So I'm not going to complain. I'm not happy with this Peacock move, but at least I got to hear everything last night. So that's a win. That's a net win.
Corey, you are a WrestleMania extraordinaire as well. And you've been to WrestleManias where Roman Reigns have been there. He's literally been almost booed at every single WrestleMania. That he's been the main event and that match. Mm-hmm. I can't, as a Roman mark, okay? That's the guy that stuck with Roman when everybody said, change his gear and blah, blah, blah. And everybody else changed what they were, but he's the same. No, he isn't. He did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Roman guy. Mike, I need him to go over tonight, man.
Here's the thing, Mike. You know what? Everybody thought Drew was going to be booed out the building last night, and he wasn't.
I didn't think Drew was going to be booed.
Nah, a lot of people did. A lot of people thought Lashley was going to get overwhelmingly cheered, in which he was cheered during the match.
Yeah.
But Drew had the fans. And so I think tonight,
they're in Florida. Just let that pass. But he got the cheers.
That's what I was kind of worried about, is that Roman will get cheers, but I think overall Roman will get booed. I think he'll get booed.
I think he will too, because it's Edge return at WrestleMania. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
in front of fans.
In front of fans. Yeah, you're right. You know, which I thought was a great match, by the way. People thought it went too long. Just like they thought night 2 between Adam Cole, Bebe, and help me, Corey, went too long. And Kyle O'Reilly went too long, which personally I thought was the top 5 greatest NXT matches I've ever seen in my life. That was just for me. I thought that match was absolutely insane, and I hope this match can deliver tonight as well and be insane. But one thing we do know is that it's WrestleMania Sunday. Fine, it's been hard trying to say Happy WrestleMania weekend, Happy WrestleMania day. It didn't feel right because it's supposed to be on a Sunday, and now it's Sunday. I don't know about the sun in the day, but we're here. It's WrestleMania time, and I'm excited. I want to thank you, nephew Corey. WrestleMania says anything. Well, they can follow you on My Kicks Are My Fix on social media. And if you don't know who he is, just go to WWE Network. I mean, WWE Shop. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and just look at pictures of fans and stuff, and that guy's there. Not me, right? Not me. You know, and it's okay. I don't have that hair. It's gotta be the hair. And follow him, yo. This guy is just a really humble guy, yo. Like I do. And my man Chris Platt, They can follow you at where, Christopher Platt, on Twitter?
At the Real C Platt.
I know C in there. I know the C was in there. I knew
Yes,
it was
sir.
in there.
Yes, sir.
I knew it was there. And they can find your shows, Pod is War, all over at thechairshot.com. Go ahead and plug the chair shot, baby. You know I love you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm on Potter's War, 3-Man Weave, and there's a lot of other cool stuff going on at the Chair Shot as well. So make sure you guys go to thechairshot.com. It is your premier, preeminent site for sports, entertainment, and sports entertainment. Thechairshot.com. Always use your head. And make sure y'all go to prowrestlingtees.com/thechairshot to pick up an official Chairshot t-shirt as well to support the movement. Remember, we're not just a website, we're a movement. And Mike, thank you for having me on, brother. It's always a pleasure.
You know that, brother. Listen, I want to thank the chat room that was on my personal page, so you couldn't see their comments. I tried my best to copy and paste the best that I could as I'm making this transition to join with the Unpopular Review Show. I love what those fellas do. I mean, they got shows every single day, from movies to sports to entertainment to wrestling. It's always there. So I'm going to give a shout out to my man Scott Thomas, Dennis Gonzalez in the chat room, Jason Michael Campbell, Hugo was in there. Everybody who came in to show some love and share this. Listen, I will not have a pre-show tonight. I will be back tomorrow morning. Y'all know how I do it. Wake your ass up so I can wake you up. If y'all don't wake you up, I'm going to scream and wake you up anyway. Coach, why are you yelling? It's what I do. Okay. You know that. You saw me at WrestleMania 28, and I haven't even had a drink yet, Corey. How about that? Man, see, you see me when I've been lit. This is sober me. So if you think this is too much, I'm going to stop right now, because I always think about the day and go, I'm so sorry. Let me just say this one more time. Like, I love this story, Chris. I'm the melon farmer who went to Miami in the return of The Rock and picked John Cena. That's all I'm going to say. I was like, Cena's going to win this because the storyline makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I did everything I could to go for him. And boy, I tell you, to me, still one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. My first WrestleMania, I got to see the end of an era match, Hell in a Cell. And to me, that's my personal favorite WrestleMania match, because it's the first WrestleMania I ever went to, and I seen that one live. But guys, again, Corey, I will see you guys tonight on Wrestling Marks of Excellence. Chris Platt, and guys, listen, enjoy WrestleMania, everybody. Get your food, get your drinks, post the pictures, be safe, and have some fun, y'all. Do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me. And don't love God. We out of here, y'all. Peace.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. But the $1 million man always gets his way. $1 million man.
Yeah. It's like the illest posse cut right here, man. Sean Watts on the track. Zeus, Don One, Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't treated like Virgil.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's respectfully pause in silence as we toll the bell 10 times.